Truthfully, this book, Little Sisters, was like a force of energy that just came through me. It wrote itself. It had to be written. Years ago, 1992, my job in the world was setting up meditation centers all over the world. I knew nothing about child trafficking. I knew nothing about children being sold into prostitution. And two students of mine came to me and said, why don't we set up a center in Kathmandu? And I said, great idea. I said, you know, I've taken so much of my life out of Asia, I can give something back. Well, we set up a center in Kathmandu. We had an incredible response to it. We had people from every caste coming to these classes. And, you know, when I went back to New York, I got a phone call from the woman who was teaching there, one of my students who I left there to teach. And she said to me, Stuart, I love Kathmandu. It's the most exotic place I've ever been to. I don't know what the hell to do here during the day. She said, I don't know what to do. I said, Kris, I said, you're in one of the poorest countries in the world. I promise you something is going to come along. Well, 2 days later, and I really mean this, the phone rings and it's Kris. And she says to me, Stuart, you're not going to believe this. She met a doctor in Kathmandu named Aruna Upreti, who ran an organization called REST. And Aruna told Kris about this whole problem of child trafficking from Nepal to India, and told Kris that to this point there are at least 200,000 children that have been trafficked from Nepal to, you know, brothels in Mumbai and Calcutta, and this was in 1992. And I said to Kris, this is our work. I said, we have to set up a safe house. We have to work with Aruna, and we have to work with NGOs and doctors to find children before they get trafficked. And we went out and we got a house, we set up a safe house, and we found children that were prime targets for the sex trafficking industry. We put them in our house, we clothed them, fed them, put them in school, you know, educated them, and saved their lives, basically. And what happened was we ran this organization for 2 years. It was called the Bahini Foundation. Bahini means little sister in Nepalese. And Kris started getting sick. You know, Kathmandu is one of the most polluted cities I've ever been in. And she was starting to get emphysema, and so we talked to Aruna and incorporated the Bahini Foundation under the auspices of REST. And we continued to raise money for it and send money. Anyway, we did a little video, 3-minute video, to raise money. And at that time, I would tell people about this in the United States, and people would look at me like, impossible. Nothing like that can be going on in the world. I mean this. They were deaf and dumb. Why should we care about children in Nepal? We have enough problems in the United States. I can't tell you how many times I heard that. It was, I wanted to wring people's necks. The same thing happened in Nepal. They said, you know, it's their karma. In their next lifetime, it'll be better. I really mean this. We heard stuff like this. And it was like, here are these children, 10 years old, 12 years old, being sold into prostitution, literally having their souls ripped out of them, you know, so that they could become a machine that would sleep with 20 men a day, 10-year-old children, 12-year-old children. So when I saw this video that we did, it was so powerful to me. I said, but no, this needs to be something big that can touch the world. And I sat down and I started writing this book. And Little Sisters came out of me in 3 weeks, the story. 3 weeks. I had the entire, which had never been changed. I mean, in the last 3.5 years, I worked like an animal to make it into a full-fledged novel, you know, with the help of Edie and Barbara and other people, you know? And that's how Little Sisters was born. And I think that it came out of something that I don't understand, but I think that it has a power and an energy that hopefully can effectually do some change in this world.
Thank you.